FINRA has discarded the previous corporate notice and changes have been made. So what should you know and where is MMTLP headed? Sit tight as we answer that by going through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for regular stock market updates. As MMTLP goes private, investors were supposed to get a one-for-one exchange of their holdings into Nextbridge Hydrocarbons shares, but the company announced changes to the FINRA notice and now only those traders who bought the share before 8th December will get the Nextbridge shares. The MMTLP trading symbol will be erased from the market from 13th December onwards, so the squeeze is expected to happen on 12th December. The price fell by 58%, going from $7 to $2.895 as fear grips holders. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right over now in the 1-day chart for MMTLP, and as always, we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we can see that the stock fell badly yesterday. Right, we fell about 58%, and just in the past 2 days, we've fallen by what I believe is about like 70%. Yup, almost 70%. Yeah, pretty much 70%. So that's, well, a bit surprising. But why exactly did this happen? Let's talk about that first, right? So, of course, we have two theories, right? And of course, one of these is my own, and the other one was just, someone commented that on my previous video. So, the first theory, of course, is that short sellers, as we already discussed this in the previous video, right? Short sellers are trying their best to kind of do whatever they can, right? Fill in the last chance that they have to kind of avoid this short squeeze and exit quietly. So there are two things that they can be doing, right? First up, of course, what I personally feel is, right? Again, my own opinion, no hard feelings or not financial advice, right? All of that stuff. I personally think that FINRA is somewhat siding with big corporations and hedge funds, right? They are siding with the people shorting because of course the first thing that that they did was that 8th December, right? Anyone that buys after 8th December won't get a position into Nextbridge, and I believe that most exchanges have even kind of temporarily, or well, it's not even temporarily at this point, they've closed the entire option, right? They've blocked the option to buy or sell shares. Of course, you can cover your short position, but other than that, I believe that they've kind of capped up the trading part, so that is bad, right? But then again, if we come to the good part, right? Now there are two things, of course, a good part and a bad part. So what do we have to discuss first? Well, I won't exactly get you guys feeling down or anything like that, but if we talk about the reality, right? It is very possible that big corporations manipulate you, and then once you're kind of all cheered up for the squeeze, they were like, hey, no, we'll do something on our own, and they kind of manipulated the market somehow, I believe, right? So maybe some other corporations were holding the shares, right? And the other corporations that were shorting the shares just purchased them from, of course, the big companies that were holding the shares at a lower price, and that is how they're kind of exiting their positions, because on 8th December we were supposed to get a squeeze, which of course we did get good volume if you ask me, right? But did it help? Of course not, right? We fell to a price of $2.9, and some are speculating that the stock will probably go down to $8, which I personally don't believe, right? Then again, the things that are happening are that first up, IBKR, of course, yesterday, right? It was the last day for shorts to kind of cover up their positions manually yesterday, and now they will be automatically done. So of course we did get a good good volume from that as well. But considering the fact that 9th December is the that's today, of course, that's the end of the week, and then the only date left would be 12th December to watch. After 13th, the MMTLP ticker symbol will be erased from the market, right? You will not be able to trade that anymore, and people will probably get their hands on their Nextbridge shares by 14th December. At least that's what written in the announcement. And at the same time, the thing is that if actually companies do come out and help each other and give each other a hand, then well, some of us will still make money, right? Because of course they will probably not be able to complete out all of those shares that they need to cover up their positions, right? So they will need to buy it from the retail market, and that is where I believe the retail traders can really make money. But then again, the problem is that most of us, right, a huge majority, I believe, will not be able to make as much money as we expected. But of course, a minority, like, something like a few percent of the people that hold the stock will be able to leave with like 10x, 20x, 100x returns. But other than that, most people will be in a profit, I believe. Yet they will have to exit at less than they expected. Then again, I'm not spreading any FUD because I practically cannot do that. I'm just an analyst. I have no ulterior motives other than that. And of course, I won't be spreading any FUD unless I'm paid to do that. And even in that scenario, of course, we're just joking. And anyways, coming back to the analysis, we can see that there's basically nothing left to analyze, right? The stock is at the verge, right? These are the last few days of the stock. It's like on life support at this point, technically, right? So we'll have to just wait and see where it goes because I believe that most exchanges have already kind of blocked the trading features for the stock. So I don't really think that we'll be seeing any volumes. And yeah, we'll have to look into that. But of course, we'll have to jump on into the 1 hour chart so we can see that how exactly, we fell down yesterday. And now that we're in the 1 hour chart, we can see that we did not get enough volume in the midday, but after 12:30ish, right, we did get good volumes, right? Not good volumes in the sense that we went up, but good volumes in the sense that they were above average volumes, right? And of course, we can see that it was a pretty basic, or rather pretty, I wouldn't exactly call it perfect, but it was a pretty basic and commonly seen, that's a good word, commonly seen bearish trend, because I have seen other trends play out like this as well, where you get supported at a point, right, which in this case was for $4.25, but then you get resisted, making a double top at $5, and then you just fall down to a point that you couldn't even imagine, and now you're down to $2.9, right? As for resistance, of course, we did get resisted $6.2 as well. The gap up was one of the main reasons behind this because, again, some buyers, right, again, this was a strategy in general to create fear, right? So some buyers were like, hey, the stock is falling badly. If I don't exit right now, I might actually miss out, right? I might actually get a loss instead of a profit. So let's say someone bought it around $4, right? So now they're like, hey, I'm sitting at a profit of what, like 30 or 40%. Why don't I exit right now? And then I can potentially save myself from going in loss of about the same amount, right? 30 or 40%. And that's how it went. That is, again, just my own opinion. That's my understanding of what happened. And that's why I believe the stock fell yesterday. Because at the end of the day, the community, no matter how strong it is, there will always be some people who are fearful, right? There will always be some people who just want to exit with their cash back, and that is exactly what ruins such setups. Now, to analyze the most detailed chart that we have, we'll jump on into the 5-minute chart. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 5-minute chart, and one thing that's really interesting on the 5-minute chart is, of course, this volume pump that we got over here, right? The average volumes were like about between 50,000 to 800,000 shares traded per 5 minutes, and over here we got about 1.76 million shares traded, which is roughly $7 million, I believe, right? So why did this happen? Two theories, of course. One, it could be a company helping out another company. So probably a big corporate exited their position over here, right? That could be one of the cases. And secondly, it could simply be that, a lot of retail traders probably had put this level as, of course, this is the, yeah, what do you call it? This is the least likely scenario that this was caused by retail, because I personally don't think that 1.7 million shares being traded in 5 minutes can be done by retail traders, right? That's just my own opinion. And of course, if we talk about resistance levels, which don't really matter, $4.2, $5, and at the same time, $4.5, $2.85, and of course the current $2.9. I personally, honestly, would have appreciated the fact that, not the fact, if exchanges and brokerages had kind of continued to let the stock trade up until 12th to 13th, because then we could have made some great profits trading on the volatility. But then again, markets gotta move, things gotta happen, right? So do let me know what you guys think about this fall, of course, in the comment section down below. And if we get any good news today, I might make another video on this tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll probably meet on Monday, that is 12th December, when the main stuff is happening. That is the big day, right? So we might make either a video tomorrow or directly on 12th December. So of course, with that, I already told you guys my opinion on the stock. And remember that this most definitely is not financial advice, and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.